Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for this second session in the KOHLER Bold Live Talk series in Asia Pacific. I'm Suzy Annetta, Editor-in-Chief of Design Anthology magazine, and I'll be your host tonight. Before I introduce our very special guest, I'd like to pass to Jim Lewis, Vice President of Marketing for Kitchen and Bath for KOHLER Company.
Vice President of Global Marketing for KOHLER Company. While we cannot be together in person, I'm delighted you have joined us today for this KOHLER Bold Talk. These talks, previously in person and now virtual, look to engage design industry leaders on a current topic. Today we're exploring design for well-being. Well-being is at the core of every product and service that KOHLER offers. Our products live in the hubs of well-being, the bathroom and the kitchen. KOHLER is committed to engaging with the global design community even during this time of prolonged distancing. We've been inspired by the sustained creativity and ingenuity this time has allowed for. Throughout its more than 146-year history, KOHLER has been known for its innovative spirit and determination to enhance the lives of all who encounter its products and services. I truly believe that this ethos is what connects all of us here today. A drive to push boundaries, to persevere. It's my great honor to welcome Suzy Annetta, Editor-in-Chief of Design Anthology, and Jean-Michel Gathy, Principal of Denniston. Suzy brings more than 20 years of experience in the industry, spanning from interior design to textiles into the world of journalism. Her experience with furniture, homewares, and bedding further built her understanding of the relationship between the components of an interior. Through Design Anthology, Suzy celebrates the growing cultural sectors and the skilled practitioners working in the world's leading creative economies. Jean-Michel has worked globally, designing and bringing to life some of the world's great hotels: Amman, St. Regis, Four Seasons, Mandarin Oriental, and others. He's a member of the Platinum Circle of Hospitality Design and honored as an industry figure whose career and achievements have contributed to the global hospitality design community. Without further ado, we're pleased to present this KOHLER Bold Talk, Design for Wellbeing. Thank you again for joining us today, and please be well.
Thank you for such a warm welcome, Jim. That was really lovely. So it's my absolute pleasure and privilege to welcome Jean-Michel. I've been a big fan of your work for such a long time, and it's wonderful to be here tonight chatting with you, even though it is not in the same room but online, but such the world that we are living in right now. I'm going to pass to you for your presentation to talk us through the design for the Four Seasons in Tokyo, and I'll be waiting here to chat with you when we get through the presentation. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Suzy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jim, also for your introduction. Okay, I'll be very, I will outline the situation, of course, because of timing. The Tokyo Four Seasons carries three words: Tokyo Four Seasons Hotel. The first thing we say is we deal with a country with very, very strong traditional values, very strong rituals, a very strong way of life. You deal with Four Seasons, which is basically the epitome of the epitome of elegance, of refinement, of sophistications, and the epitome of service of the hotel industry. And obviously with the most fantastic specific DNA, like every hotel companies, but they have their specific DNA. And then we deal with the word hotel. Hotel is a business. I just want to make sure that people remember that developing a hotel developer develops a business. He does not trophy hunt. He develops a business. So what we have here is a business with a strong DNA in a country with powerful values and very strong traditional value. And that's the equation. So we have to design a hotel which suits best these three conditions: the country, the DNA, and the business. And that's what we did with the Four Seasons Tokyo. So like most buildings in Tokyo, of course, it's a high rise. The buildings, the bedrooms and the public area on the top floor. and they have a sensational view towards the mountains, the Fujiyama, and overlooking the Imperial Park. So what I would like is I would like to take you through very quickly, of course, all the process of arriving. So we will arrive, as you can see on the picture there, in front of a red box. Why is that so? Because the hotel, the lobby, the place where you arrive at the car is a very small place, part of a very big development, but the place is small. So what we decided to turn it as if it was a lacquer box, like the Japanese use to eat their meal on important days like Christmas, for example. Now, why red? Because in the Shinto temples, the entry gates is always in red, because the red is a color which rejects the evil spirit. And why timber? Because, as you know, a hotel is a home away from home, and Japanese traditional homes were made of timber. So that's why we think we should take the timber through and make that entry box cozy. Now here we enter in the lobby. You can see you have little boxes in black lacquer, on top of which we have a small, simple, contemporary way of translating ikebana. And mixed with that ikebana, which is a characteristic floral art in Japan, you have a chandelier, which is very European in terms of its look. So this is a mix of both. When you take up to the 39th story, you arrive on the top, on the 39th floor, and you have the most stunning view. And therefore, we have recommended to keep this window fully open to the west, overlook 6-meter high windows overlooking the Imperial Palace. Now here, there's a very important issue. In Japan, you cannot dominate or look down the emperor. And therefore, we have created a 4-meter wide pond, as you can see in the foreground, which does not allow people to go up to the window and look down to the Imperial Palace. That was actually extremely well appreciated by our Japanese friends and clients. We put in that pond, of course, some Japanese references to garden, like rocks and everything. But it's also, as I said, a business. Therefore, in that lounge, you must be able to eat, you must be able to drink, and you must be able to meet. And the people meeting at the Four Seasons are not only Japanese, but they are also foreigners. They are everywhere in the world. So we have a lounge, which is a little bit European or a Western in its design look, but it's still surrounded by the Japanese traditional value. We have, you can see, this is very European, very Western. It's not Japanesey, but yet that is the DNA of the Four Seasons, of course. And the walls are basically, you don't have that picture, but the wall are using Japanese art. Now, when you arrive in the arrival lobby, you have here a very special thing which we have had made by an Italian company to make an amazing reception desk, which is a mixture between empire style, basically Napoleon first, 1814 or whatever it is, okay, styled together with Japanese block furniture design. And that is why, really, even in the reception desk, we wanted to mix both. The big light fixtures we have on the top of the ikebana in the center, ikebana being traditional in this case, is actually fabric on where we have written in calligraphy seasons. Okay, now this is an example again of the cabinet on the right where we have a four-season touch and the Western and Japanese style reception. This is actually the artwork. It's installed today, but I didn't have a picture when it's installed because we still have the scaffolding. But this is the 6 meter by 4 meter 80, I think, wall that we have behind reception. Again, you can see the waves, the main faults. You can see the small riddles, which are the small riddles on the sea. And that, of course, refers to the sea, to the water, which is a very big part of the Japanese garden and the Japanese like very much. Now, when we go to the spa, this is the entry of the spa. You can see we have used this sagan, which is a specific way the Japanese treat the walls with straw and soil and glue. And in that window that we have there, we have created a major piece of art, which is 12 meter by 4, by 5, 12 meter by 5, I think. And it is made basically of fish lines and I forget the name, but sort of a textile, a fabric that we have tends between the fish nets. So this is again very Japanesey in terms of entry. That's the swimming pool. There is a fabulous swimming pool. You can see the art object from the back here. This is a fabulous object, a fabulous swimming pool with a private fireplace and everything. This is the room. Now, of course, there are many types of rooms. This is one. Okay, actually, this is the smallest, quite interestingly. But this picture is interesting because it shows you that whole world is being, we have a photography done by a Japanese artist of fabric flowing in the wind. Because if you read Japanese literature and poesy, you will see how much they give importance to the transfer of seasons. So we wanted to carry, of course, 4 seasons. Okay, so we wanted to carry that theme through by having that flowing fabric, symbolizing, of course, the flowing of the season. We have different type of room. This is the bed of the royal suites, and we have various products. That's all I have to you because I do know that I have limited time. Suzy, I'm back with you.
Thank you, Jean-Michel. It's great to be back with you. Well, as Jim mentioned earlier, the subject of our conversation tonight is about well-being. And, you know, I think the impact of the built environment on our physical and mental well-being is quite well known. I'm curious to know how you try to incorporate that in the projects that you do.
Okay. My first reaction in front of your question is impact does not necessarily mean negative. Impact can be very positive. So my answer to your question is, first, I'm a positive person, so I believe that if a development is done within the rules of engagement, within the obligation you have according to environment, to sustainability, to sense of place, to respect of topography, etc. If a development is done following the proper rules and has been subject to a proper market study on the impact on the environment, impact on the social texture, impact on traffic, etc., etc. If all these proper research have been addressed, then I think the hotels we design have a positive impact on the places where we build them. They become a venue for local people or for giving the chance to foreigners to get to know that local place. They become a venue for intellectual meetings, for displays of art, for a spiritual exchange. You could have yoga classes, etc. So I think the impact, if the development is done properly, is positive.
That's a great answer. Obviously, with hotels, you know, they are designed for guests and predominantly focused on them and their well-being. And often staff and the back of house and those sorts of part of a hotel where people that work there are working are often ignored. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on designing those spaces and catering to the people that are serving the guests of the hotel and motivating them, I suppose, to really enhance that guest experience.
Suzy, you are an end user of a hotel, but we are the people who put it together. So I can tell you that 50% of the time we take in designing a hotel is for the back of the house. You as a user, as an end user, you and like anybody else who use hotels, okay, including me when I walk in. We only look at, wow, nice lobby, oh, beautiful room, fantastic swimming pool, etc., etc. But you have no idea how much effort and attention has been given with the operator, because it's totally in line with them. We work together, whether it is Four Seasons, Aman, Cheval Blanc, St. Regis, Mandarin, they all work together to make sure that all requirements, not only social requirements, technical requirements, space requirement, facilities requirement for the back of the house are followed. So even though you as a guest are not, you're not invited to visit the back of the house, I can guarantee you that the back of the house has been addressed properly and follow rules, regulation, social matters, health issues, communications. It allows staff to meet, not to meet, etc. Now, don't forget, you have the back of the house staff and the front of the house staff. Okay, they both have the challenge. The back of the house live a little bit away of the glamour of the front of the house, but they have the peacefulness of running a business without interference or little interference. Whereas the front of the house people, they have the glamour of the lobby, the beauty of the restaurant, the fantastic food, but they have the guests like you and I who complain about this and ask for this and demand this and want to see that immediately, and how come they don't have it and how come attention were not given to them. So believe me, overall, the front of the house and the back of the house, they have their pros and cons. But hotel, and I would say hotel management company, are very sensitive to this issue. And I can reassure you and any other one person who listens to this that back of the house is addressed fairly to the staff, and back of the house and front of the house. There's some hotel, for example, I won't mention names because I can't, but some hotels, they have a beach for the staff. The hotel has so many beaches and they have kept a beach for the staff. The staff have their own game, they have their own bar, they have their own restaurant, their own football field, etc. So believe me, they are, I wouldn't say spoiled necessarily, but they have been taken into consideration fairly.
That's really good to hear. So if we think of well-being as a trend, I guess, and I'm not a big fan of that word, but I guess it is becoming a trend, I suppose, and becoming much more prominent, particularly within hotel design. Do you have any thoughts on where it might be going in the future? What might be next within the world of hospitality and in the world of well-being?
I'm not so sure. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, no, it's because I got distracted. Okay.
That's okay.
Sorry. No, I think hotel, 25 years ago, hotels were, open bracket, close bracket, dormitories. They were a place where you would arrive, you check in, you go to sleep, you take a shower, you sleep, you go and get breakfast in the morning, you go and you do your business for the whole day, you come back at night, you sleep again, that's it. Hotels were a place of convenience. They were not lifestyle places. Hotels now, most of it, even the 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, so it's not just a matter of luxury hotels. Hotels have now become lifestyle venue. You adhere to a vision. You are a Four Seasons guy. You are a Park Hyatt guy. You are an Aman junkie. You are a Cheval Blanc dreamer, etc., etc. So you associate yourself to a perception of a hotel, and therefore these hotels have become very, very important venues. And in Asia, where I live, actually people don't invite their friends or their business partners at home. They don't. They invite them in hotels, and they choose the hotels according to what their values are. They think this hotel represents them better than this hotel. I am a trendy guy. I take my friend to the trendy place. I'm a traditional guy. I take the guy to the traditional hotel. So hotels have become basically lifestyle venue, and I like it.
So, I think we're going to talk about bathrooms. Obviously, this talk tonight is being hosted by KOHLER. It was inevitable that we would talk about bathrooms, but they are a sanctuary of well-being. And I've read in interviews with you before that you've talked about a good shower being an essential part of a bathroom. And I'm wondering if there's any other elements that you think are important in, say, a resort or even an urban context.
Again, bathroom before we designed just to groom yourself. That was it. You had the WC in the front of the entry of the door, the bathtub on the left with a shower in and a sink on the right. That was just what you needed. Bathroom may become very sexy now. They are again part of the lifestyle thing. You know, as I was saying, I won't mention again some hotel company, but some really put that in the world. The bathroom of that hotels have become fantastic. Okay, so bathroom may become a lifestyle bathroom. Yet, you must have, because you still use them to groom yourself. Nobody spends his day in the bathroom, okay? You spend your day on the terrace or in your room, but you spend some more time than before in your bathroom because now they're pleasant. You enjoy your bath. So a great bathtub with a nice view from the bathtub, maybe to the sea, okay? Or a nice a lifestyle shower instead of just being something falling from the sky and on your head, okay? And so all these elements have made this bathroom much more attractive, much more pleasant, and therefore people spend more time. But what is missing very often in bathroom is a proper lighting. Designers, and I plead guilty, okay, we tend to make it look good. We tend to make it sexy. And sometimes we are being slapped a little bit by the operator and say, hello, I hate to see myself when I shave. My wife wants to see her eyes when she makes up. Yeah. Okay? And they're right to do so because we are dreamers sometimes a little bit too much. So bathrooms are lifestyle places where we make it sexy. That's our part. But they are also places where, I mean, it's a utility. You need to take a shower. You need to use the bathroom. You need to make up or brush your teeth or shave. Okay? So I think they have become an important part of design.
Yeah, the lighting I can definitely agree with, obviously, as a woman. You know, there's been a lot of conversation recently about, you know, the future of design and where things are going and obviously with the current environment that we're living in the middle of this pandemic, the COVID-19, discussions around new materials and new technologies, particularly in the bathroom. KOHLER has a number of products like automatic toilets and digital showers, and all of those revolving around either elevated hygiene or sort of, I guess, more encompassing wellness into a bathroom. Do you have any thoughts on that? Is this something that you've been thinking about in the studio and how to kind of incorporate wellness as well as hygiene into Absolutely. The projects that you're working on?
Absolutely. I tell you something, I'm going to do an analogy. You remember after the very bad moment of 9/11, the world changed. And they started having security checks. And then now we're going to have health checks. It will change. It will change. You will have health check. Now, there are many layers of the health check, but one of, okay, maybe I structured my phrase wrongfully. Maybe I should say it this way. Okay, I have a better comparison. You know, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, if you wanted to be the trendy architect, you had to be a green architect. I am the one who used the technology, I know the green ways, and etc. It was like a bragging rights. I was the green architect, I was the star. People would talk to me because of that. Now, progressively, because of the obvious problem with environment today in the world, okay, manufacturers like KOHLER, manufacturers have now come up with amazing alternative products in order to make the hotel more sustainable, hotels or development or construction. They came back with tiles which look so much like wood that people buy these tiles and it looks like wood. So you don't deplete the forest, you don't have problem of maintenance, it's cheaper to install, you don't affect the surface water drainage in the world, etc., etc. So the manufacturer themselves came with very specific product, which obviously help the environment. And that refers to now we have, before you had a solar panel on the roof. Nowadays, you have solar panels on the roads. You have solar panel, the window of your sitting room, of your bedroom can be a solar panel, just by having designed sensors in the frames, etc. So all these elements are the result of environmental stress. We have now the same with health stress. So all the better one, of course, the main manufacturers are going to come with new products which will allow to reduce the risk of propagation of viruses or disease, etc. You're going to have a special resin which will be put onto the switches, onto the door handles. You're going to have a special alloy for the door handles or for the towel bar. You're going to have special control system for the television, etc. So I think because of the problem we have had with the environment, the industry came up with fantastic product to help the environment. It will be the same for COVID-19. The industries like KOHLER will come with products which will automatically help the health issues.
Well, I feel like I could sit here and chat to you all night, but I feel like we should probably get a question from the audience. There's a really good one here about your studio and how you've been adapting to the current situation. And they're asking also, you were traveling quite a lot leading up to this. So how are you adapting to not traveling so much? How is that affecting meetings with clients? How is that whole thing working for you guys at Denniston?
I must say, it depends on the business. But in a design firm like we are, because of technology, because of networking our computers with the offices, with the clients, etc., we are not really affected. Yes, we have lost a lot of that personal contact. When you design together a team, you sit in front of each other, you sort of brainstorm, etc. You lose that a little bit, but you can still do it like we're doing now on television. Okay, but in our business, I would say it has not been dramatically negative. Nevertheless, I have liked that because I have rediscovered my wife. I have discovered my children. It's amazing. It is amazing how this 2 months staying at home has been a breeze for me. I love it. So I have designed 12 hours a day, okay, with a fantastic meal, 3 meals a day with my family and in the peacefulness of my house. And so I liked it. Now, obviously, maybe I'm more comfortable than others. Others don't maybe have as comfortable places than I live in. But I believe that it helps families. And the biggest beneficiary of all is environment. I think environment has been the winner of this issue. People are re-questioning, should I have a big office? Should I go to the office? Can we work more from home? Maybe we should emphasize this, that. So personally, I am happy. I think that it doesn't affect my business. I mean, not much, of course, but it affects others. Restaurants, hotels have been substantially affected, of course. But I did not suffer too much. Yes, we did a little bit, but not too much.
Well, that's great to hear. So thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you tonight. I wish it could have been longer, but we know you're very busy, so we're very grateful for your time. And hopefully we will get a chance to chat again soon. And for those of you watching, please stay tuned for the next episode in the series. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzy. Bye.
Bye.